What's going on, guys? AFK Tech here, and today we're going to be taking a look at the ASRock Z270 Killer SLI AC. So this video is going to serve as kind of a quick unboxing and overview of this motherboard. I'm actually going to be using this in a build that is going to be featured on the channel. I'll link it down in the bottom left-hand corner, down here somewhere. Otherwise, it'll be down in the video description. So let's go ahead and get started. So we see this is the ASRock Z270 Killer SLI AC. Let's go ahead and see what ASRock wants to highlight on the back. So we got dual Ultra M2 SSD slots. That's super nice to see, something that's becoming pretty standard. Intel Optane memory ready, 802.11 AC Wi-Fi that's on board, which is super nice to see, as well as an Intel NIC. One USB Type-C connector. They advertise some super alloy chokes and caps, which is super nice to see because that's obviously where a lot of the quality is in motherboards. They got ASRock Intel 4-layer memory pool technology. 2 PCIe steel slots, which is nice for heavy graphics cards, something I've seen Gigabyte do in one of my other reviews that I did on one of Gigabyte's Z170 boards. They also have an RGB light around the South Bridge, which, you know, obviously you got to have some sort of RGB on here to really, you know, attract that gamer crowd. So it supports Intel's 7th and 6th generation Intel Core i7, i5, i3, Pentium, Celeron, all that fun stuff. And it's LGA 1151 socket, obviously Z270 chipset. Takes 4 DIMMs of DDR4 up to 3733, which is obviously an OC, an overclock number. It has 2 PCIe by 16 and then 4 by 1s. It supports SLI and Crossfire and all that fun stuff. HDMI, DVI. I'm not going to read all this stuff because it's boring. We'll actually look at the board and figure out what it's all about. Alright, so we open it up. We got a disc here with a badge. So if you want to put that on the outside of your computer. A quick little flyer about the RGB and the software. Got an instruction manual. I thought this was kind of funny because I actually opened this already to take a look at what was inside. It has a postcard here. I don't know if you're going to be sending it to anybody, but that would be cool kind of to pin up on the wall if you want. So we got the manual. We have a more detailed manual. That other one's kind of a software setup guide. Got our I/O shield. I'm not a huge fan of these plain Jane silver I/O shields. I really like the ones that actually, you know, have some color to them and actually mark out what things are. But what can you expect with, you know, a $120 board? Inside here, I think we have some sort of SLI bridge. Yep, so we have a SLI bridge that's included, fittingly since it does have SLI in the model name. Haven't seen as many SLI builds. I kind of feel like it's not as popular. So we got SATA 3. Then we got our Wi-Fi antennas. These aren't really that fancy Wi-Fi antennas. They're just, you know, simple ones. Obviously, this isn't always super ideal if you are going to be putting this under a desk somewhere because these are going to be kind of, you know, blocked in the back versus one that has an extension wire and allows you to actually move the antenna where you want. We got 2 screws individually packed. Not really sure what these are. Figure that out when we get in here. And then we have the motherboard itself and its anti-static bag. Let's go ahead and close this up so we can, now we'll just push that off to the side. So let's actually take a look at the motherboard now. So now that we have it out of the package, we can kind of see everything that I was talking about on the features. Let's get this all in frame here. So we have our processor, got our power delivery, got our 8-pin, 4 DIMM slots here, 24-pin, got some fan headers spread about, USB 3 connector right here. Not a huge fan of how they have this USB 3 connector. I don't know if you guys can see it, if it'll focus or not, but it is vertical. I do like the ones that actually are off at a 90-degree angle because these PCIe, or not the PCIe, these USB 3.0 headers that are in cases these days are actually really stiff. So if you have one that's like this, it has to stick out and then bend back. Just a little nitpick, something I would kind of recommend all motherboard manufacturers to get on board with. We got our 6 SATA 6 slots here, or SATA 3 slots, not SATA 6 gigabit. And then we got some headers down here on the bottom. So we've got our power LED. They have like a little pin out here, which is nice to see. Got our M.2 slots here, all our PCI slots with the steel backing that I was talking about before. And then we have a cool little shroud that covers up a lot of our I/O, as well as some of our other little things that are spread about. On the back side of the board, not really much going on. It is a matte black or shiny glossy black PCB. This is super nice to see. We're, you know, finally out of that, not finally, but we've been out of that, you know, nasty green PCB era that we've been in for a long time. So let's go ahead and take a look at these Wi-Fi antennas actually put on. As I said, obviously these aren't the best setup because if you are going to be putting this under a desk somewhere, you're going to have a little bit of trouble getting a signal because you can't move the antenna out somewhere, kind of like you can on a lot of them that have wires instead of just straight up antennas. And they're also really close together, like super close together, just for reference there. So let's get on to the I/O, since I haven't covered that yet. Pull these out of the way. So we got a HDMI port right here. My build that I'm actually using this, so we're going to be using the onboard Intel graphics for the build that I'm working on right now, so these are actually pretty critical. So we got our HDMI PS2 combo port here with my mouse and keyboard, some USB 3.0, the antenna connectors I was just showing you. We got a DVI port, USB Type-C right here, USB 3.1 right there, standard, 3.0, our Intel NIC, and then pretty much a standard Realtek audio output here. So there's not a lot more to talk about here. If you guys want to see the actual RGB like in action, check out that build that I'm working on right now. Overall, this board does have really sweet reviews on Newegg. A lot of them seemed like they were actually paid by ASRock to do via rebate, so I'll take that with a grain of salt, because if they're going to be paying people to do reviews for their board, obviously people are going to be more inclined to leave a more positive review, as well as them having so many reviews already on Newegg. While this board not actually being that old is something to kind of throw your hand up at and kind of question. Hopefully that this board works out great though, because it does fit a really great feature set in terms of the budget that I was actually looking for. If you guys have any more questions on this board, be sure to let me know. Make sure you're subscribed if you like my videos. Go ahead and check out that build I was talking about. Give me a thumbs up if you liked the video. If you disliked it, give me a thumbs down. Let me know down in the comments, because that really helps me out a ton. Why you didn't like it. And then check out my Amazon link. That helps me out even more in getting these videos and getting these products in order to give you guys different video reviews. This is AFK Tech signing off. Thanks, guys.